What's good, y'all? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? I'm reading the comments. Y'all just chatting it up. What's going on, y'all? What's up, everybody, man? Y'all know who it is. It's Aaron Duncan with another Tuesday live stream. You made it to Tuesday. Give it up for yourselves. It is Tuesday, and we are here, another live stream. Let me straighten out my bill. You know what I'm saying? I can't have my hat lean to the side. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to straighten out my bill a little bit. But, guys, I'm out of breath. I was running around like crazy. I had to make dinner tonight. I was on husband duty tonight. I had to make dinner. So my live started a little late, and I had a little bit of an extended timer. But I'm here for y'all because we got to talk about some stuff, man. We got to talk about a lot of stuff. Elijah Bryce said that he's in his first live. His first live. Welcome. Said the throwback tee. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me get in these comments. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up, pretty please. Let me send this out on Twitter because some people say they don't get notifications. Some people say they don't get notifications when I go live, so I have to make sure I send this out on Twitter. Welcome to the Dunk. I am Dunk on Demand, Aaron Duncan, your founder and host. This is Unnecessary Bluntness Sports Talk, recap and analysis of the Panthers is what we do here. Tuesdays, we do live streams. So if this is your first time being live, this is a lot more interactive. This is not like my traditional videos where I'm sitting here talking to myself. I talk to you guys. So it may not progress as you may like. It may be a little bit tangents of talking to people. Don't be alarmed. I know some people don't like that. I apologize, but I like being able to interact with y'all. So that's why I do these live streams. So bear with me if you are watching the replay. If you are here on the live, shout out to you. If you are here live, catching it right now, shout out to you. I had to turn on my background light too. What's good? Kent Sullivan in the building. Will Brown, what up, though? Hey, it's Rip, what up, though? Stony E, what up, though? King Domo, what up, though? We're going up this year. These coaches finna turn this stuff around. Yes, sir. What up, though, Chief Queef? Back again. Eric Ridge, what up, though? Let's get it. Austin Wright, what up, though? Eric Blair, what up, though? Trillwin in this building, what up, though? Say, hey, I'm actually catching the live. Welcome. Shout out to you for catching the live. You too, Josh. Shout out to y'all. What up, though? J Rock, what up, though? Brent A, though, what up? Sean Hume, what up, though? Catching your first live. Pound the like button, please. You ever get nervous during the countdown? Sometimes. Because I be running around trying to do everything, so I get nervous. The draft this year is the most analyzed draft according to ESPN and PFF. I'm hyped to see draft day. We're doing a mock draft tonight. No, we're not. I got one more mock draft left in me. It'll be coming out next week. And I'll be basing it on all the guys that we've met with. But this is my last. I got one more mock draft. My final mock draft will be next week. So you normally watch the vids next day. Appreciate you tuning in, man. I got about an hour for y'all tonight. Like I said, I made dinner, doing a husband thug dizzle. So I got to get to the dinner I made. TRKR49, NC State bound. What up, though? Knucklehead K, what up, though? Donald Miller, what up, though? Say rock with the channel. Appreciate you, man. Scott Whittle, what up, though? Eminem, what up, though? M7J7, what up, though? That sound like a jet. 747. See you at training camp. Yes, sir. You know I'm in the trenches. I'm in the streets. You guys, please give this video a thumbs up if you have not. I know it's an extended countdown, but I appreciate you guys hanging with me, hitting that chat. Of course, if you want to support the channel, please give the video a thumbs up. Those are free. Like my boy Pat Coltrane says, those are free. The likes are free. The likes are free. But if you would like to leave a super like or a super thanks to support the channel on my independent grind, you can do that with a super chat. Or you can use the Cash App down below on the ticker or Venmo. Both at Dunk on Demand, because that is my name. All right, I got this themed drink tonight from Reformation Brewery. It's for the Masters. Georgia, it's a local Georgia brewery. They made an Arnold Palmer vodka lemonade. This is my drink of the day. I don't know what y'all drinking on, but grab your drinks. This is my drink of the day. It's a peach tea vodka lemonade. This is not an endorsement. This is not a sponsorship. This is just something I'm trying out because of the Masters this past weekend. Shout out to Scotty Scheffler. So I will be drinking this. I also will be drinking water. I'm not shouting out this brand. Matter of fact, let me take off this label. I'm going to take off the label because they're not paying me. I ain't going to do it. It's too sticky. But I'm drinking water too. Philip Jones, what up, though? So what did I cook? I cooked baked spaghetti. I would have been done with the spaghetti, but I had to throw some cheese on it during that countdown, and I baked it too. Tyree Ross, what up, though? Christopher Bryce said, what's for dinner? So I see you every year, man. I'm there. You know I'm out there. They moved it on us this year. It's out of South Carolina. South Carolina's my backyard. Yeah, Tyree, usually at camp, man. So how do I like the channel? D-Cash, what up, though? Panthers Prime, what up, though, brother? What up? Where do you even get that at? This is local. I'm in Georgia. This is a low. You could probably maybe able to get it online, but they just do it seasonal. It's a vodka. Like I said, it's like a little cocktail. But yeah, shout out to Panthers Prime Podcast, PPP, not to be confused with the loan, but Panthers Prime Podcast. So I cooked that last night. No alcohol to the weekend. Yeah, me too. I had wine on the weekend unless I'm doing something crazy, like going out. But only time I drink during the week is on the stream with you guys. So make sure y'all grab y'all something to drink, something cold, something adult or non-adult if you're on that. If you're fasting, you can do that too. Not judging. But not bad, bro. Not bad. That's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. It's a little watered down. But it tastes like a peach, a spiked peach Arnold Palmer. Shout out to Reformation. Shout out to Reformation Brewery. It's so good. I had to take another sip. It's described as a ready-to-drink Reformation vodka cocktail made with black tea, real lemon, cane sugar, and sun-ripened peaches. Enjoy chilled or over ice, non-carbonated. Naturally gluten-free. 9 Live Kill, what up, though? So, a couple things to talk about. Cam Newton, he went on Club Shay Shay. Club Shay Shay. Club Shay Shay is Shannon Sharp's podcast. Club Shay Shay is Shannon Sharp's podcast. He sat down. It was at Fellowship. I need to reach out to Cam, matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? I need to reach out to Cam because I'm down here in Georgia. I'm down here in the city. I guess I'll move this. Or no. You can't really see it. It's faint. I'll keep it up here. Oh, well. So, he talked to him. He sat down with them. We got to talk about that. He had a couple comments. Just one comment I want to look at in particular. Well, a couple I want to look at in particular and listen to. We got to talk about the latest rumors because the pro days are past. The pro days are past. 30 visits are here. But those are wrapping up too. So I want to break down all the visits, all the prospects that the Panthers visited with. I want to talk about that. But of course, it's smokescreen season. It is smokescreen season. And you guys know what time it is. We have to talk about some of these draft rumors that have been coming out around the Panthers. And we got to talk about, are they real or not? Are they real or not? So we got a couple things to do. But I want to start with the Cam Newton news. Before we get into that, please give this video a thumbs up. Please give the video a thumbs up. We got 107 people watching, 45 likes. The math ain't mathing on that ratio. But of course, get in that chat. Let me know how you're feeling about these topics. So, Cam Newton went on Club Shay Shay and talked about his ending, I guess, to his time with the Panthers. Now, of course, we know what happened. Ron Rivera got fired because of David Tepper. He wanted to get some new blood in. It pretty much ran its course. Whether you like it or not, oh shoot. Ron Rivera's time was up. And I was a big Ron Rivera guy. But I understood. But Cam talked about the rebuild and the players more than anything. But the first thing he talked about, though, he talked about Luke. One of the things he talked about was Luke. And I want to play a clip. Now, I hope I do not get clapped. Please, Club Shay Shay, do not get my channel clapped. This is no copyright infringement. I do not own the rights to this clip. I don't own the lefts to this clip. I don't own the rights or the lefts to this clip. So I don't want no copyright smoke. This is my message to you, Shay Shay. This is my message to you, Shay Shay. I do not own this clip, but I got to get some context. Listen to what Cam Newton had to say about Luke Kuechly and Luke Kuechly's retirement.
Losing Luke, how you lost Luke. Luke retired, right? But I do think Luke would not have retired if he knew that locker room was still going to be intact.
I had to pause it real quick. Got to pause it real quick. Do not want to get clapped. Cam Newton says that he feels like if the locker room had still been intact, Luke Kuechly would not have retired. This is something that I've kind of felt in my bones myself personally. I don't know Luke, but I'm not going to lie to you. When that retirement video for Luke Kuechly dropped, I was crying in the closet. I was in the corner. I went to go cry. It shocked me. That one hurt me more than Cam. The Cam, let me come back to this. The Cam news, it was a long time coming. You had the Kyle Allen rumors all season. You had the media was just trying to push Kyle Allen and put Cam out the door, which was crazy talk. These dudes really tried to fool us. Dan Orlovsky should be ashamed of himself mainly. They tried to push Kyle Allen to get Cam Newton out the door. It was really nasty, nasty work in hindsight. Nasty, nasty work in hindsight. But the writing was pretty much on the wall with Cam's injury. He was longer in the tooth, a new owner. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, and I kind of felt this. It hurt me more when Luke Kuechly retired. I'm not going to lie. Cam Newton, more of my favorite player. But like I said, I was kind of prepared. I was kind of prepared for that. But Luke came out of nowhere. It was the ultimate gut punch. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. It hurt. And I know he had the injuries and the concussions, but it hurt, bro. It hurt. A player that is universally loved by the fan base, when somebody plays that hard, that fast, that well for all those years, you can't help but be a fan favorite. That one hurt. I'm not going to lie. But let's keep going with the clip.
I would have took some time off, right? And his health isn't important. You know, taking concussions extremely serious. But that would have been something that you would have had to consider, being a Luke Kuechly, knowing that I still got KK Short, I still got Charles Johnson, I still got Thomas Davis, I still got guys that's gonna battle with me.
So he's basically saying that Thomas Davis leaving, Ryan Khalil, Peppers, all those OGs that he kind of grew up with, that took him under the wing, that they kind of built that core with. When they left, things started getting weird. That's kind of the context of this. I'm going to keep going.
Dig what I'm saying? Julius Peppers. They all left. And these are the things that he had to think back and say, hold on, we ain't got none of that. I got to start over? Nah, I'm good with that. And I can't speak for Luke, but these are the things that on hindsight you got to think about.
So, y'all remember that video? Luke was crying in the video. Like you said, Luke was crying. Hey, man. One of the toughest, nastiest, hard-nosed dudes in NFL history and franchise history is on here teared up and crying. You can tell he didn't want to quit. You could tell Luke didn't want to quit, but it felt like his body, mainly his head, was failing him. One of the greatest, if not the greatest. I will argue with somebody just to make their head hurt that he is the greatest linebacker of all time. One of the smartest players ever to play the game. He was in tears, man. In tears. And that had me choked up, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was down bad for days. I was down bad for days, bro. I was down bad. But what Cam is saying is that if it hadn't have been a big rebuild with Ron leaving, with Peppers leaving, with Charles Johnson obviously was kind of on the way out, but Thomas Davis obviously got cut. You know, he moved on for Greg. Cam got let go. He's looking around. You know what I'm saying? You know that episode, that meme, that gif from Fresh Prince on the last episode when Will Smith showing up with his hands in his pocket and he looking around like, dang, ain't nobody here but me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody moved away on the highways and byways and it was just Will. That's probably how Luke was thinking. He was like, nah, I can't do that. Luke said, I done seen that episode before. Luke said, I done seen that episode of Fresh Prince before. And so Luke decided to hand it in. Now, Matt Rule, I feel like there was some words with Matt Rule. I think he might have had a conversation with Matt Rule. I think he saw what was going on with Tepper, because Tepper came during the season. Tepper came during the season of Ron's last season, of Ron's second to last season. So he could probably see how things were changing, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we saw the background on the All or Nothing on Amazon. So he probably felt how things were changing. He was like, bro, I got these concussions. I've been wearing this little collar device. Is it worth me risking it for a team that's going to be in rebuild mode? Because we still haven't rebuilt. That was what, 2017, 2018? Excuse me, 2019, 2020? We still haven't rebuilt. So Luke, imagine Luke putting his life on the line, because I'm going to say his life, because his brain is serious business. We know what the CTE thing, how it goes. Luke was not about to put his life, his health, his future on the line for a team that had a very, very unclear direction. Without some of his homeboys around too? Nah, man. That's what Cam is saying. That's what I felt, but this was kind of confirmation. Had Cam even stayed a year, I'm not sure Luke would have left. Now, I get Thomas. Thomas had lost a step. I'm not going to lie. Thomas lost a step. Peppers was probably out the door anyway. I think he was pretty much done. But I think that Thomas Davis, I think that move really hurt because him and Luke were like this, son. They were like this. They were like that. So I'm like, man, it was, and I don't blame him because in hindsight, it was the best decision for him, period. It was the best decision for Luke, period. I would not want to see my OG Luke playing under Phil Snow and Matt Rule. I didn't want to see him like that, bro. Aimlessly out there playing, because Luke, I just didn't want to see him go out like that. It hurt because it hurt me when he retired, but I'm glad he made that decision in hindsight because we still haven't put this thing together. Now, a guy like Shaq Thompson is the OG. Shaq Thompson, he has seen us at our best and at our worst, at least second worst. He's seen this team go 15-1, the best season in franchise history, to one of the worst seasons in franchise history, 2-15. So he's that guy that hung around for the rebuild, the different rebuilds and the different seasons. But I couldn't imagine Luke being around going through the last 2, 3, 4 seasons that we've been through since all the transition has happened with this team. It's been horrible. Horrible. So I don't blame Luke at all, man. I'm really glad he's still around the team and to commentate. And he's such a good dude. He'll never put this type of stuff on wax. But this is what I love about post-career Cam Newton. This is what I love about post-career Cam Newton. Between this conversation like this and his channel, obviously 4th and 1, you get some gems there. But what he did on Super Bowl, on Radio Row, during Super Bowl week, getting all those gems and collabs, man, I like post-season Cam. I like post-career Cam. I need to get down to fellowship. I'm gonna see if I can reach out to his people, see if I can get a podcast collab with him, man. I'll go down to fellowship. I'll buy me a handful of cigars. I'll be down in that thing choking. I can't smoke cigars like he be puffing them things. But I've been to fellowship a few times. Y'all need to go to Cam channel. Go to Cam channel. Tell him he need to collab with me. Tell him he needs to collab with Unnecessary Bluntness. Y'all go hit up spam Cam's comments and let him know. I would love to set that up. I would love to set that up. I've seen him at fellowship before, but I got a lot of pride when it comes to like seeing celebrities in public. I ain't want to go up to him. I ain't want to blow up the spot either because he had a little situation going on that night anyway. So I ain't want to blow up the spot. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's tough. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. We are keeping it rolling. Make sure you guys get a video thumbs up. The ratio is not ratioing. The math ain't mathing currently. 162 people watching, only 69 likes. Please, please, please get a video thumbs up. Those are free. It helps me out tremendously with engagement. The algorithm knows that you guys are engaging with this. The algorithm knows that you're liking it. So give the video a thumbs up. Pretty, please, and thank you. Take another sip. Again, it's only 4.5% alcohol, so it's not that strong. It's not that strong, but it's an easy drink. A peach tea vodka lemonade made for the masters. Made for the masters. You know what I'm saying? Made for the masters. Yeah, man, that's how I am. I got a lot of pride, bro. I got a lot of pride. I don't be trying to fan out. I don't try to fan out too much when I see like football players and celebs in public. I try not to fan out. Man, run it up, man. Y'all go spam Cam's comments, bro. Spam his comments. Tell him he need to collab with Dunk. Unnecessary Bluntness. I'll make that trip down to fellowship. I ain't but 35, 40 minutes away. So Cam has a ridiculous IQ when people hate him because he switches to kid mode and has fun. So I heard him moving up in the draft to get Bowers. I don't know how true that is. That was just some speculation by a blog. Ignore that. Ignore that. So going to say 33, 39, 35 need to be solid starters, wide receiver, center, and yeah, we're going to talk about the draft a little bit later. Talk about draft a little bit later. Yeah, Jansen been there a while too. He been there a while too. So Luke, Captain America, Cam Newton, Ace Boogie, a.k.a. Superman. Hollywood Gamer, what up, though? Said, I don't blame Luke for retiring. Me neither. So they gave up on Cam a year too early. Yeah, I think they should have just ran it back with Cam. Because, like, worst case scenario, we tank and we end up losing and we end up getting a top 10 pick anyway. So you can get Lawrence or Fields. You know what I'm saying? Just run it back with Cam. It was $19 million. Who did we acquire that was that expensive? Because we got Hassan Riddick for the low, I think. We got Robbie Anderson for the low. We didn't spend a lot of money. Like, what did we use that $19 million in cap space on? Was it Moten? I don't know. What did we use that $19 million that we got rid of Cam with on? You know, like, I don't know. Shout out to my guy, what's up, Dub? Me and him are doing a collab on Thursday on his channel going live. See, I would fan out if I randomly saw Luke. John Gruden's burner. What up, though? They did give up too early. Worst case scenario, exactly what happened. Nothing. with Teddy B. And Teddy was the best quarterback we probably had here since Cam. Unfortunately. And they ran him out of town too. It's just been transgression after transgression after transgression. But what Cam also said, I want to talk about it real quick. Cam had some comments about Bryce. Cam had some comments about, oh yeah, it was Teddy for $20 million. You're right. We used that $19 million to get Teddy. Duh. That's crazy. That's crazy. We could have just ran it back and did the same thing. We really hustled backwards. We could have tanked. We could have played Cam. Cam got hurt. You tank. You just tank from there. Leave Kyle Allen or Heineke or whoever we had in there. And then you just tank. or PJ, run it with PJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we go from there. We're the top 5 pick. Like I said, we probably getting Trevor Lawrence, or we could have got Justin Fields. I 100% believe Justin Fields would have did decent, even despite Matt Rule. I think he would have did decent with the weapons we had. With Joe Brady, with that college-style offense, with a spread offense like that, with Justin Fields, with McCaffrey, Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, and Robbie the following year, I think Justin Fields would have been okay. He could have sat the first year, ran Wildcat. I know I'm probably getting my timeline a little mixed up with all that stuff, but y'all know how much we done messed up this quarterback position. But he had some comments about Bryce. And I'm not gonna play the clip because I don't want to get clapped. I don't want to get clapped. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna play. But he pretty much, in more ways than one, said that Bryce Young needs to speak up more. Bryce Young needs to use his voice. Bryce Young needs to talk to the organization and tell them what type of players he wants in the draft, what type of players he likes. Now, a lot of y'all are going to say that he picked Mingo, so don't listen to Bryce. I think he was just being a company man. I think he was just being a company man. But I don't know. I don't know. Because, like, Cam is saying that he needs to step up, and I think he does need to be more vocal. I would love to see him be a more of a leader. I know we hear the rumors about Bryce's dad wanting Leggett, but shoot, Bryce probably need to be like, hey, man, give me some O-line. Give me more O-linemen in the draft. And then Cam was like, look, they're going to ask you what play or what player you want to go to in the clutch. You need to be more vocal about that. And I agree. I think Bryce is also very aware of himself. I think he needs to come out his shell publicly and get more comfortable there. We've heard all the stuff behind the scenes about him cussing people out, cussing the team out, saying that holding himself accountable, saying that they haven't played well, being pissed off. We've seen him throw the iPad on the sideline. I think he just worries too much about his outside image. I think Bryce worries too much. He's too media trained. I think he's too worried about his outside image. I don't think it's not in him. I think he's just too worried about his outside perception. He needs to let that go. But I want to see him be more vocal. I just think stuff was so new for him as a rookie. He probably wasn't trying to step on nobody's toes. You got the pressure of being number 1 overall pick. You know what I'm saying? And he's not used to losing, y'all. Modern day, didn't really lose like that. Alabama, didn't really lose like that. You come to the NFL, and you're the leader of the worst team in the league. He probably didn't really know how to move. He didn't really feel like, maybe he didn't feel like it was his place, or doesn't know how to handle losing and being a leader while you're losing. That takes some adjustments. When it's ugly, that's when you really find out about it. So it's a new experience to him. You don't know how you're going to be in those situations until you're in those situations. You know what I'm saying? So I think Bryce is still trying to find himself in terms of this public perception and getting comfortable with who he is out there. You know what I'm saying? And there was just so many we heard about all the voices and the different people pulling him in so many directions. He probably, I'm sure he was a little shell-shocked. Y'all remember, it takes a little minute for you to find yourself. Remember Cam? Cam wasn't used to losing. Cam had won everywhere. Cam won, obviously the year at Florida, but Blinn, college and junior college, Auburn. And then you come to the NFL, to the worst team in the league, and you're struggling. And remember, the media was on Cam about the towel. Cam is always wearing a towel on his head. He's always moping. His energy, his body language isn't good. His body language isn't good with losing. Cam, why aren't you a good loser? Cam, you should be a good, gracious loser. Remember what Cam said? Cam said, then he said something like, show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. Like, I don't want to be a good loser. And so it's just when you have a guy that's been winning like that, it takes them a minute to get used to compartmentalizing those losses in the NFL. Because in the NFL, you can't let that stuff linger. You got to dig yourself out of that hole every week and bounce back. The bright side about the NFL, like they always say, you always have a chance the following week to right your wrongs from last week. It ain't like high school or college where one loss can ruin your whole season. You know what I'm saying? So I understand it's going to be a learning curve. It's going to be a learning curve. And like I said, he's not used to that losing. So in more ways than one, it's going to take that same type of growth and adjustment. So let's put it in perspective. Let's put it in perspective. Like I said, it took Cam a little minute, and it took, year 3 before we really turned, when Ron Rivera's back against the wall, before we really put it together and made some progress. So I know it's been a long time, and I know some of y'all are probably too young to remember, and I also know some of y'all are uber young, so y'all may not remember that at all. But let's be patient. Let's let Bryce grow. That year 1 to year 2 jump is always big, and we heard Brad Isaac talk about that. We've heard Dave Canales talk about that. So I'm really excited to see how he is. They got to build his confidence back up. But I'm really excited. So let's take a minute before we transition. Get on these super chats. Shout out to Panthers Prime Podcast for the super chat. He said, I got to try that drink. It's a smooth drink. It's smooth. It's just weak. It's 4.5%. It's an easy drink. It's really something for the golf course. Something you can drink for 4 hours straight and still be able to see, to keep your head down and make contact with the face of your club. I can't wait to get me a 4-pack to take out to the course. Pretty smooth. Black tea, lemonade, peach flavor. Solid. Appreciate the super chat, brother. Mr. Luke Cage. Always supporting. He said, come on, man. That's why I ain't mad at CMC. How you going to be motivated with T-Here Whitehead? Look, I don't blame Luke at all. He said he ain't blame CMC either. Can't get jiggy with it. Can't get jiggy with it. Shout out to Maka McFall on the Cash App support. Appreciate that. No comment, but he said just thank you for the Panthers content. I love you. Love you guys. Another super chat from Mr. Luke Cage. Say Cam wasn't that vocal with Smitty in the Pepperidge Farm. Pepperidge Farm remembers. The North remembers. Look, that's why Gettleman got rid of Steve, man. They wanted Cam to be the leader. So, like I said, these dudes are still young, man. It takes time for them to grow. They gotta find themselves. I would love Bryce to have a little bit of success for him to feel confident enough. He probably don't feel like it's his place all the time to be super vocal. You're not going to catch him at all-star games. He went to one courtside game or two courtside games. One was in the offseason on his own time. The second one, he went to a Hornets game. And that was after they reported here to Charlotte for OTAs. I'm still not convinced that he didn't get paid to go to that Hornets game, because nobody goes to Hornets games these days. Now, you probably had to pay. They probably had to pay Bryce to show up to a Hornets game. As bad as the Hornets are, what, 60 losses? They probably had to pay Bryce to show up. So he's been in the lab working. He probably don't feel right making all these whatever appearances when the team was trash. He wants to get in the lab. I get it. I get it. I said your name correct. I stuttered a little bit, but I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I got it. I appreciate you, man. I give you the applause. Said nobody goes to Hornets games. Y'all, please give me that like button. Please hit that like button. Nakari Leggett, what up, though? So you late. Yeah, I think Stroud's success really is what played a big factor. Stroud struggled, it wouldn't be a convo. So I don't count last year. It was a mess. Yeah, it was. So you like that trade for Johnson was good. All right, so let's keep it pushing. Couple things to cover. Some NFL news. NFL has a new partnership. The NFL has a new partnership. Oops. Let me edit this. NFL has a new partnership. Put it up here. NFL is always working. He wants excuse me, back on track. They have a new partnership. So, according to reports and an announcement by the NFL, the Carolina Panthers have partnered with good old Applebees. Applebees is the official grill and partner of the NFL. So, shout out to Applebees. I too grew up on Applebees when I was in high school. Before the economy went to crap, you could go take a date there for 2 for $20. That 2 for $20, it probably was the thread. It was 2 for $20. It really was the fabric of my marriage and relationship, right? The foundation. I was a humble young fella once upon a time. Back in the day, I took my wife, our first date, we went to Applebee's. We went to Applebee's on our first date, watched some sports. We went and saw Why Did I Get Married To first, and then we went to Applebee's. So Applebee's being the official grill and bar of the NFL. So I'm trying to figure out, how did Chili's fumble? How did Chili's fumble this? Because I personally, I do prefer Applebee's myself. But their menu has changed a little bit and stuff like that. Because like I said, back in the day, you get a 2 for $20. If you went on Fridays, you could get a limited margaritas and Long Island iced teas for $5 each. $5 Long Island iced teas and margaritas. I'm telling you, you can take a date there. And spend $50. You got 2 rounds of drinks and that 2 for $20. You know what I'm saying? But like, the price done went up for everything. But the fact that Applebee's secured this deal, kudos to them. But Chili's fumbled. They fumbled the bag. They fumbled the bag on this. How did they let this happen? I think Applebee's got the better atmosphere. I'm not going to lie. But I think Chili's may have the better menu nowadays. Now. Listen, that's why I married my wife. We met in college. We went to Applebee's for our first date. We went to Applebee's for our first date, and it's all history. 10 years later, I'm married. I got a little one. It's See, I went from Applebee's to Ruth Chris. Listen, you gotta start somewhere, bro. You gotta start somewhere. Like I said, shout out to my wife. The dating game now, what I be seeing on the internet, you can't take nobody to Applebee's. Women made a whole list of what you can't do on the first date. I would be single right now if I was dating right now. I feel for some of y'all brothers that's in the game. But me, y'all be safe out there because I'm married with a little baby. Shout out to Wifey Dunk and shout out to Baby Dunk. But I just wanted to talk about Applebee's because I think Applebee's is a Southern staple, in my opinion. It's a Southern staple, and it's a good place to watch the game. A very good place to watch the game. But shout out to Applebee's. I don't know if they're going to get any deals on Sundays or anything else, but shout out to Applebee's. So let's move on. Let me get in these. As a chef, you offended. Hold on, man. I got to get these comments. It said Applebee's. Yeah, I think it's more of a Southern thing. It feels like it's a Southern staple. I know it's a big franchise, but like you said, you saying there's not that many in California. I'm sure. Somebody said I'm gonna buy her a 4 for 4. Shout out to Mr. Luke Cage on the super chat. Said the Charlatan Hornets. I'm selling. They had to pay Bryce. They probably had to pay Bryce to be there. Single black women said, Chili's, no, I deserve at least Applebee's. So I haven't been to Chili's or Applebee's in years. Bro. Applebee's, bro, I was humble. I was in college, bro. You got to start where you can. I did what I could with what I could. I was in college, yo. She seen the vision. Shout out to Wifey. She seen the vision. So you can tell a lot about the first date. It's not about where you go. It's about the actual date. Yup. You go to the movie first. People say dinner in the movie. Go to the movie first. Go to the movie. I know you can't talk. Go to the movie first and then talk about the movie on the dinner date. That's a dating hack. That's a dating hack from your boy. Don't do dinner and a movie. Do movie and dinner. You know what I'm saying? This is free game. Go to the movie first, and then you can talk about the movie at dinner. Now, girls may not go for that these days. Like I said, I be on the internet seeing some of this stuff. The game is crazy right now. But if you get you a humble one that's willing to do dinner and a movie for the first date, she may be the one, bro. She was the one for me. Y'all be safe, though. So as a chef, you're offended. Yeah, they mad at Cheesecake Factory, bro. It's dangerous out here. It's dangerous out there. So you cook there. Hey, you know how Applebee's is. So most people go to Applebee's for drinks. Tons of Applebee's out here. It's the child. It's Chili's that's trash. Olive Garden, if you want to be a little fancy, say Applebee's at the 9:30 is a spot. It's a club. Real game. That's free. That's free. Say Applebee's your lady favorite restaurant. You got you a winner. Got you a winner. You got you a winner. All right, let's keep it pushing, man. Let's talk about these draft rumors, man. Because, like I said, it's smokescreen season. It's smokescreen season. So, recently, yesterday, reports came out. Well, first of all, a couple things. There's a website called Sports Skeeter. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I don't know how legit it is either. But they've written a few articles. They get a lot of traffic. Yeah, y'all be safe. Y'all be safe out here, fellas. I'm telling you, it's the game is crazy. It's crazy. See, it's you get the game that changed up, bro. It's dangerous out there. It's dangerous, man. They don't even want Cheesecake Factory. So your first date was sneaking into a hotel hot tub. All right, man. Yeah, no word on that. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about the 30s here in a second. I'll spin some game for y'all tonight. But let's talk about it. So Panthers draft rumors. It's smokescreen season, fellas. It's smokescreen season. Wait a minute. Gotta give a shout out to my boy DP. Shout out to my guy DP. My guy DP checking in on the channel. He missed. I was talking about. I just gave out some free game about the dating game. I gave out some free game about the dating game, talking about Applebees being the official partner of the NFL. The game is crazy nowadays, man. Shout out to, like I said, shout out to my wife and my little baby. I'm married now, so be safe out there. But anyway, yesterday, a report came out from Sports Skeeter about the Panthers and a cornerback that was rising up draft boards that was going to go higher than most people projected. And that was none other than nickelback and cornerback Mike Sainristil from the University of Michigan. So Mike Sainristil, number 0. You guys may know about him. National champion. Had an interception in the college football playoff. A guy with very, very good ball skills. Former wide receiver from Michigan. The article about Sports Skeeter said that where could Sainristil end up? He said people I've spoken with believe the Carolina Panthers at the top of round 2 are a possibility, as are the Chargers with 37. Both teams need cornerbacks, and in Los Angeles, Sainristil will be reunited with Jim Harbaugh. Based on conversations the past 2 weeks, there are a few teams that have Sainristil getting out of round 2. So early day 2 projection. But the crazy thing about it is Phil Yates and excuse me, I can't even think of his name. Good Lord. What's the guy's name? Mel Kiper. Woof. My brain, cooked. Mel Kiper and Phil Yates did a mock draft alternating picks. And coincidentally, they had the Panthers trading back with the Rams from 33 back to 52. And none other than Mike Sainristil was the guy. So he didn't get out of round 2. He fit that bill. And lo and behold, a completely unrelated party, ESPN, had the Panthers taking Sainristil. He said Sainristil will be an excellent nickel for Carolina. He's pinching but forcing turnovers. He has 6 picks in 2023 and is a standout tackler. Very feisty guy, a little bit undersized, but he's feisty, he's smart, he's savvy. Former wide receiver for 2 years, so there's still upside there. But that receiving background helps him. Route recognition, processing there. Shout out to my guy Damien. He's in the chat. He wrote a report with Draft Network. I haven't really got a chance to look at Mike, but I looked at Dame's report. Dame likes Mike. He said he could play on the outside a little bit, but he's primarily a nickel. But according to the Sports Skeeter article, I'm not going to put it up there. I'll just read what they said about it. And they said that, he said the only belief is Sainristil could be selected at least round earlier than most people believe. Right now, I'm hearing early to mid-second for the Michigan DB, and he could be the 7th corner off the board. He said, I wrote his pro day workout on March 22nd. It was viewed as the best single day postseason performance of any player available in this draft by several decision makers. The best single day postseason performance. Wow. That's very, very high praise. Because we've seen a lot of good workouts. There's been a lot of good workouts. So that's very, very high praise for him. His position work at receiver was as dominant as the defensive back skills he displayed. I didn't see the pro day, but is this saying that he was running routes and doing receiver work as well, showing off versatility? And then obviously the DB skills. That's still, like I say, he's only been playing DB, 2 years? So there's still upside there of his ability to grow and get better with more experience and playing time. So his interviews since the combine have been off the charts, which comes at no surprise since many have described Sainristil as being a quote-unquote genius talking X's and O's. And although he's just 5'9", 5'9.5", and projects as a nickel, people I've spoken to will point out that nickelbacks are on the field 75 to 80% of the time as defensive snaps, as now in the modern NFL, the nickel is more pretty much the base defense. You know what I'm saying? And so this was crazy to me. I personally, I've seen him play, obviously the broadcast, watching Michigan a few times. I've seen him make the plays in the college football playoff. I'm a little familiar with his game. Haven't done a deep dive on tape, to be completely honest. But I this is not a slight on him as a player. I'm just confused about the fit for the Panthers. I'm just confused about the fit because he is primarily a nickel, and I think he projects as a nickel. Now, I've seen some people try to say that he reminds them of Chris Harris Jr. to an extent. I don't know about that. I think he's better in zone than maybe man, from what I understand, because of that ability to read the quarterback and route recognition. But looking at this alignment from PFF, look at these numbers. I mean, granted, he's lined up a lot all over the place, so you got to love that versatility. But look how many times he's lined up in the slot compared to lining up wide at corner. You know what I'm saying? Look how many times he's lined up. In 2022, it was lopsided, almost strictly slot. But in 2023, played a little bit more. Let's go 403 plus 151 is 554. So he played 27% of the snaps. I just did the math, so you ain't got to. You welcome. 27% of the time. He lined up out wide last year. So he has some time. But not to mention, bruh, that zero is swaggy as hell. That visor, that mirror visor, swaggy as hell. the Jordan headband on the neck, swaggy as hell. The sleeves, bro. He looks the part. I'm going to say that right now. This is sidebar. Bro, got the swag. He got the swag down pat, bro. But I just don't know how I feel about drafting a nickel that high. Now, do you try to put Troy Hill on the outside some? I think at Troy Hill's big age, you don't put him at outside full time. But do you want to move around? Do you pick up Gilmore and that allows him to start play inside and then you figure out the outside corner thing later? I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a fit. That's why I think this may be a smokescreen. Could it be a smokescreen to get another corner to fall? Or to drive up the trading asking price for 33? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's I don't know. like I said, no slide against the player. I'm just worried about the fit. I would take an outside corner first. That's just what I'm thinking. Now, outside corner is at the top of my list. Now, if you want to try to, where do you want to play? Where do you want to play Sainristil? But getting a corner is the right idea, in my opinion. But I'm just not sure about drafting a nickel at this point and that high. Now, if everybody, like I said, everybody want to go BPA till it's time to go BPA. That's why I try to tell y'all weighted BPA. You got to weigh certain positions. Certain positions mean a little bit more than others. We could use a nickel, but we definitely need outside. The outside corner is way definitely heavier, in my opinion, than nickel. Like I said, Sainristil, I know I'm butchering the last name. I'll get it right if we draft him. I know he can play outside some, but I just don't know. I would have to see the vision. I would have to see the vision of what they're trying to do before I'm like, okay, cool. Like I said, no slight on the player. I like the player. I like his game. The reports, the reviews, the testing, off the charts. They're talking about his IQ, off the charts. So I like the vision. They say they want smart football players that take away the football. They want to protect the football on offense and take away the football. This is the guy. 6 interceptions. Made a lot of plays on the ball. So I see the vision if that's what they're trying to do, but I still don't think a nickel is the way to go. That's what I think. That's what I think. But like I said, no slide on Sainristil's game. No slide on his game at all. But let's look at some of the visits. Let's wrap it up with the visits. Let's talk about these 30 visits. So 30 visits, local visits, combine visits, pro day visits. You know what I'm saying? They happen. They meet players that don't read too much into it, but read something into it. But a side note, the Panthers, I know people say don't read too much into the 30 visits, but the Panthers last year, all of their their first 4 picks visited either a 30 visit or in Chandler Zavala's instance, a local visit. So these hold some weight. What up, Quan? What's good, brother? What up, though? Say, appreciate you. I just got this stuff from the Vintage Convention. Mock draft going to be next week. My final mock draft is next week. My final one. But, yeah. Different. It's a different regime. Obviously, Scott Fitter is gone. Hallelujah. But a lot of the scouting department is still there. So, how much weight do they put on these visits? Who knows? But let's try to read some tea leaves. I'll pull up the list. So these are from what we've been reported. Shout out to my guy. Matter of fact, shout out to my guy Edgar. I got to give him his credit. I think it's this. Shout out to my guy Edgar on Twitter at Panthers Analyst. Follow Edgar. Follow Edgar. He put in hella work. Shout out to him for this list. He put in hella work. Keeping up with these visits, compiling these visits. So this is the full list. And it's not complete. This is just what's been reported. Teams do not have to report these visits. But what's been reported, what's out there, what's been posted on Instagram, because these dudes are so funny, bro. The way we find out about these visits, these dudes be posting them like they getting flued out like an Instagram model. They be posting them in the airport. They'll post them on the field. They'll post them looking at a hotel at the location. It's funny. But this is the complete list. So very, very interesting names. I want to talk about a few things on here. But like I said, local visits is going to be kids or people that are from the Charlotte area originally. They went to North Carolina State. They went to University of Charlotte. Or they went to South Carolina. Why Clemson or Wake? Why Clemson? No, Wake is on there too. I'm sorry. I think. I'm not sure. I think Wake is. But why some of these schools aren't on there, I don't know. But let's go to it by position. I want to look at it by position. Easier to kind of keep up with. Let's go down the list. Garrett Schrader. I got to start getting some moderators on the channel. I apologize. I'll get some moderators on the channel. Shout out to my guy, Josh Norris. Shout out to him. Saying, what up, though? What up, Josh? We're talking about these visits for the Panthers. Appreciate you checking in and tuning in. My two biggest guests on the channel, Josh and Dame, then checked in tonight. I feel official all over again. Yeah, Brendan Rice is on there. So, look at running back. Running back, Trey Benson, Jonathan Brooks, Audrey Estime, Dylan Johnson, and Will Shipley. Very, very interesting group, in my opinion. Trey Benson and Jonathan Brooks. And Estime, from what I've heard and some of the numbers. But Trey Benson and Jonathan Brooks, these are guys that are being argued about as running back 1 and running back 2 in this draft. And I'm hearing Estime could go a lot higher than people think. The analytics, the numbers really coincide with him being a successful back. He's a big guy. I talked about him in my running back video. But these are guys that could go fairly early in the draft. I'm talking day 2. I mean, obviously not that early. I mean, early for like running back standards. But these are guys that, you know what I'm saying? Like, these aren't late round, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these aren't throwaway guys. You know what I'm saying? This kind of lets me know that they really are, like, all the chatter, the talk about running the football. We had the running game coordinator interview today with the Panthers, wanting to start off building from the run, taking things off Bryce's plate, giving him a running game to support him. They aren't blowing smoke. If you're looking at Trey Benson and Jonathan Brooks, you are considering a running back fairly early, whether it's round 2 or 3. Especially with, you're considering a running back fairly early. You know, so like that tells me that they're looking, because Chuba Hubbard is in his contract year. Miles Sanders wasn't part of this regime. He's around. Didn't have a great year last year. I feel like he would probably be out of here if the contract wasn't so brutal. But they're looking for a guy like Trey Benson, every down back, 3-down skill set. Jonathan Brooks, 3-down skill set. Estime, he can catch the ball a little bit, but he's not a weapon out of the backfield. Capable, but not a weapon, but still a guy that has lead back potential. Dylan Johnson runs hard from Washington. Will Shipley has pass catching ability. He has a 3-down skill set. Now, I don't think he has the ceiling as some of those other backs, but I love what he can do. He had a great pro day, phenomenal pro day. So I think that we could be looking at running back a little bit earlier than some fans may think. I'm a big Jonathan Brooks guy. You let him be in the committee this year, he could be the lead back by next year. He's going to bring him on slow. He'll be ready for training camp off that ACL. He needs to let Chuba be the starter. Alternate. Chuba, if you want to bring him back on a cheap running back 2 deal, maybe. But if not, you got insurance. Everybody's all on the don't pay running backs train. This is how you do it. You draft a running back that you think can be that guy that has that upside. But let's take a look at these receivers very, very quickly. I know we've dissected wide receiver in terms of the Panthers on several occasions. So I don't want to spend a ton of time here. But it's the biggest group by far. A total of 9 receivers. 9 receivers. Malachi Corley, Troy Franklin, Xavier Legette, Jalen McMillan, Jalen Polk, Brendan Rice, Brian Thomas Jr., Tez Walker, and Xavier Worthy. So, before the Deontay Johnson trade, there's a lot of guys on this list I probably would not have wanted to consider. I'm looking at Corley. I'm looking at Franklin. I'm looking at Tez. I'm looking at Worthy. Legette, McMillan, and Polk. I can ride with that. Rice, I can ride with that in a later pick. But some guys hot in terms of in the second round, 33, before the Deontay trade, before the Brian Burns trade, I wasn't thinking, to me, some of those guys are luxury picks. We need somebody that can come in from the jump and compete. But Deontay Johnson, I talked about it when it happened. Me and Josh talked about it on the live stream when the trade happened. He takes a lot of pressure off of the Panthers. They don't have to go receiver. They don't have to go wide receiver at the top. They can address corner if a corner falls. If an edge rusher falls, they can address edge early. But Deontay Johnson allows them to draft for a guy that could be a luxury pick or could be a guy that plays a certain role. Because I think when we went wrong with Jonathan Mingo, we needed Mingo to be a wide receiver 2 with wide receiver 1 upside right away. He was a project receiver, needed some fine tuning. He was never going to be able to fit that role. We passed on other guys that could have been a wide receiver 2. I think Jaden Reed. I think Tank Dell. I think Josh Downs, who I really wanted was Downs, were guys that I was a little bothered that we passed up. But now that we have Deontay, who has that bona fide ability to get open, he's a separator. Then you have Thielen that's coming off a very productive year to be that wide receiver 2. You can get a luxury guy that does things that they don't do. Corley, I think rookie year, worst case scenario, he has Laviska Shenault type of role in our offense, or in the past at least. With somebody underneath, they can get bonus yards, yak yards. You get creative, get him the ball, get him in space, let him do his thing. Xavier Worthy has speed, is faster than all get out, stretch the defense, open up the underneath for Deontay and Thielen. Really opens up everything for this offense in general. A threat to get over the top on any given play. That's a luxury pick in my opinion. I'm hearing, of course, Hollywood Brown type of comps, Deshaun Jackson type of comps. Whatever you want to do, he's the guy that can get deep and get behind the defense. Somebody you have to respect that's going to open up things. I like that as a luxury pick. Being a immediate wide receiver 1 or 2 for us before Deontay, not so much. Troy Franklin, a guy I think if we trade back, I would feel a little bit more comfortable there, but can struggle at times with some physicality. Has the speed to get deep in the short range as well. A little bit light. Needs to work on his play strength at times. And obviously the concentration. Sometimes it drops. There's some lapses there. But a very, very talented and productive wide receiver last year. Being your bona fide wide receiver 1 or 2 off rip, I don't know. But being a wide receiver 3 and get in where you fit in, let the defense, let them scheme up ways to get you the ball and get open because there's not as much pressure on you. I like that. Brian Thomas Jr., same thing. He's a deep threat. I like that. Not as much pressure. Brian Thomas Jr. needs a little bit of time to develop the rest of that route tree. We have to see if he can run the rest of that route tree. It may be a work in progress. Definitely on the vertical plane, he's a weapon, but it takes some time to develop the rest of those routes. But I like the balance of the receiving group. I know some people talking about they haven't met with Mitchell. Obviously, Ladd McConkey's down on the list as well. Keon Coleman's not there. So just because we don't meet with them don't mean we're not gonna draft them. But we're reading the tea leaves. Edge: Austin Booker, Adisa Isaac, Marshawn Nealon. Arm length, all do different things. Marshawn Nealon, more of a plays with more power, strong at the point of attack, has experience with his hand on the ground. Some people think he has a lot of upside standing up. He's done that in college as well. Very physical. Adisa Isaac, smaller than Nealon, but very, very athletic. We talked about it on the stream with Dame about how is it Onuosu, the tackle that's getting drafted high out of Penn State, talked about Adisa was a better all-around edge guy. They're probably Chop just because of how many moves he was able to throw together. Austin Booker, raw, athletic, the measurables, the length, the upside, on paper. You see the length. They want edge rushers with certain traits, and that arm length is one of the biggest ones. They want to be able to stack and shed, take on blocks, control the blocks, shed it. We play that type of system. Linebacker: Cooper, Cedric Gray, Alec Mock, Jacob Roberts, Peyton Wilson. I know y'all love Peyton Wilson. Obviously, the injuries are there. I think sorting through traffic, getting off blocks sometimes can be some issues, but the health concern is the biggest thing for me. But he's a local guy, NC State. Edrin Cooper, a lot of people's linebacker 1. I love the athleticism. He'll be there in a second. Cedric Gray, great Senior Bowl, productive speed guy. I drafted him in one of my mocks out of North Carolina. So some of y'all probably know about him. He's a Tar Heel. Linebacker is something I don't want to spend premium draft capital on, but he's something that I could see us being on the list, personally. Corner: Kalen Carson, Tyrett Funderburk, DeCameron Richardson, Nate Wiggins. Now, Kalen Carson, he likened himself to J.C. Horn. Very physical, a lot of hands-on, grabby corner at times. I've seen him I haven't did a deep dive, but he has some decent reps against Keon Coleman. He got beat a couple times by Keon Coleman. I'm not going to lie. Missed a tackle and then got beat for a touchdown on a one-hand catch. But he has some good reps being physical with Keon, frustrating him, getting up under his shirt. You know what I'm saying? So I see the vision. Later round pick, somebody that's not going to be relied upon right away, but can come and compete early on. Nate Wiggins. If Nate Wiggins is there at 33, it's going to be hard for me not to take him. I'm sorry. It's that much of a need for me. I know he's light in the pants. I know we never drafted a Clemson guy. I know I'm not a Clemson fan. But if Nate Wiggins is there, putting the Palmetto State tandem, you know what I'm saying, on each corner. You got Nate Wiggins from Clemson. You got J.C. Horn from South Carolina. Locking down both sides. Come on, man. It's been a minute since we had a tandem. When have we had a tandem like that? It's been a minute since we had that kind of tandem at corner for Carolina. I love the vision. I love the idea. If he's there, I'm seeing a couple mocks, but he might be there. Look, man. Look. Look, I'm just saying. I made my video today about J.C. Horn. It gives you JC insurance for the short term, but also for the long term. If you don't trust his health, you don't have to do the fifth-year option. You got Nate Wiggins, who's one of the better corners in this class. And corner is not as deep as some of these other classes. These other groups. Malik Mustafa from Wake Forest as well, teammate of Kalen Carson. Interesting. South Cac seatbelts. I like that. It's clever. We'll put it on the shirt if it happened. Put it on the shirt. Palmetto State punishment. Put them boys on punishment. Lock them down. Ground them. Palmetto State punishment. Or Palmetto punishment. That's what we call it. I don't know. We'll think of something. We got time. We got time. Tight end, though. Tight end is crazy for me. Okay? Devin Culp, Jatavian Sanders, Ben Sinnott, Jack Westover. Who's not on this list is Jared Wiley, who they met with at the Combine, who I drafted in my latest mock. I know a lot of y'all love Sinnott. I know they talked about having an all-around tight end. I want a guy with receiving specialty. That's why I like Wiley. He's a bigger target. Jatavian Sanders is like that as well, but he doesn't bring much in the blocking game, and he's not as big. Similar height and weight to Tommy Tremble. But Ben Sinnott is a guy that I know a lot of people like. A lot of people are saying that he has a chance to go in that second round. A lot of people say they have a chance to stick a belt. They all said 33, 39, and 65 need to be immediate starters. Pick 33 needs to be receiver, 39 needs to be wide receiver. A corner, 65 needs to be a center. We need contributors. I ain't gonna call them starters. I'm gonna call them contributors. We need people that's gonna contribute early. Because before, sometimes we don't even get that. All right, so let's keep it pushing. OT, Jordan Morgan, Roger Rosengard. Rosengarten from Washington, played right tackle. Could be the potential heir apparent to Taylor Moton. He could be BPA at some point, maybe, on day 2. Jordan Morgan, same thing. Very, very talented guy. In Arizona, correct? I think he plays left. He may play left or right. I can't remember. But looking for the contingency and future plans for Taylor Moton as well. You always need depth, too. Center, Jackson, Powers, Johnson, JPJ. I know a lot of y'all are big on JPJ. A lot of y'all are big on JPJ. A lot of y'all are big on JPJ. What's his name? I can't even think of his name. He's Pete Strager. He dropped that mock draft based off things he's heard, and he has Zach Frazier going in the first round, and Graham Barton going in the first round. So that would put JPJ probably out of the first round. So he could be there at 33. I know some of y'all want to be all over it. Personally, I'd rather wait. I think I read something that the average round that the highest paid centers in the league are drafted in is like round 3 to 4 range. So you can wait. You can get a Van Pran. You can get a Bo Limmer. You can get a Bartoli. But a position like corner that's not as deep, I don't know. D-line, Jordan Miller, Rook, Ororo, and Mason Smith. Ororo, y'all Clemson fans, y'all are familiar with his game. Mason Smith from LSU. These are guys that, you know, they got to add to the D-line rotation. So an all-around solid group, in my opinion. All-around solid group, in my opinion. I like some of these names. These are names, bigger names. Some of the names I haven't heard of. But it feels like the Panthers kind of know what they want, but they're also talking to players that are kind of universally regarded as talented players. You know what I'm saying? So JPJ is the closest to sure thing you'll get. So why he not going out the first round? That's the thing. I'm just saying. You got to weigh value. You got to weigh value at times. Corner is a premium position. Corner is a premium position. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But we've reached the end of this stream. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I got a lot of different content I'm trying to come out with before the draft, cramming it in. My final mock draft will be next week. I'll be using that list that we just looked at to draft for the most part. I'm going to try to go off all guys that we met with. Yeah, homie. If Wiggins is there, bro, them double dip on receiver dreams. I don't know, bro. Wiggins is gonna be hard to pass. Wiggins is gonna be hard to pass up. But I'll try to do my mock draft based on that. Draft party, draft watch party, draft watch party, draft watch party. For the draft. Watch party together. It will be giveaways. I'll be giving away draft hat. I'll be giving away some merch. And I may even try to give away a Panthers jersey depending on who we draft. I may try to give away a jersey too. A draft party is on Thursday and Friday and Saturday. I'm going to try to do all the stream. I'm going to stream the whole thing. I'm going to try to. That's what I'm aiming for. That's what I'm aiming for. You know? So, draft party. I also got a video talking about the smart thing to do at 33. I got the Panther Banter podcast is coming back. I'm doing a deep dive into Dave Canales, what we've heard, me piecing together, reading the tea leaves, trying to figure out what the vision is. I got that as well. A lot of exciting things coming to the channel. I appreciate you guys rocking with your boy. I got to get off on here and eat my spaghetti that I made tonight. Y'all make sure, take your girl to Applebees on the first date. See if she a real one. You need your XL jersey in the large just so you can play in the head. You already calling it, huh, Nakari? You're already calling it, huh? But I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. I'll see y'all next time around. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button. I appreciate y'all watching. Peace.